Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are streaming from. And I want to specially welcome you to my YouTube channel. And my name is Leo Steven, and this is Music Class with Leo Steven. Thank you for stopping by, and don't forget to like, share with your friends, subscribe, drop a comment, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so as to get notified, when I upload another video. So I'm still on the series I titled The Easiest Approach to Learning All Your Keys on the Piano. So, and it's been amazing. And we have really done so much. I've done an introduction, to musical letters with our A, B, C, D, E, and E, F, and and G. And then I went further to explain that the number of the number of octaves on a piano will determine the alphabetical arrangement of the key of the piano. And I say, for instance, the 3 octaves keyboard, the 4 octaves keyboard, the 5 octaves keyboard, just like the one I have here, we always start with the letter C on the left hand side, letter C. And then the 6 octaves keyboard, we start with letter E. Then the 7 octaves keyboard, which I think that follows the alphabetical order, we start with letter A. Then still explain to us that the white keys are known as natural keys, while the black keys got their names from the white keys. And each of the black keys answers 2 names. Is either it's called sharp or flat. For instance, this is C sharp, you can also call it D sharp, or D flat rather. And this is D sharp, it can also be called E flat. And this is F sharp, it can also be called G flat. And this is G sharp, and it can also be called A flat. And this is A sharp, and which can also be called the B flat. So that is that. So that tells you that each of the black keys answers 2 names. That is called sharp or flat. Thank you. And we played the major scale on all the 12 keys. If you miss it, you can just scroll down my YouTube channel and you see it there, so for you to catch up with us. So, and today I'm starting a new topic I titled chord. I'm going to be teaching you chord. Although there are a lot of advanced chord, we have major 7, minor 7, diminished chord, suspended chord, sus 2, sus 4. We have raised 9, raised 5th, we have diminished chord, we have 13th chord, we have all sorts of chord. We have tritone, we have ditone, which I'm still going to be teaching us in our subsequent classes. But today we're going to be learning only the elementary type of chord, which is known as triad. 3-note chord. 3-note chord is known as triad in music. So a lot of my beginner students will come to me and please, sir, please come and teach me diminished chords, come and teach me tritone, come and teach me ditone. You don't need all of that as a beginner. All you need to understand and know very well are your major and minor chord. And I must tell you that if you have the full knowledge of your major and minor chord, to learn, by the time I'll be treating all of those advanced chords, you won't be confused. It will be very easy for you to understand. So as a beginner, learn your major and minor chord very well and understand them. Thank you. So let's get started. What is chord? No, that should be the first question. What is chord? Chord, in a very simple term, for you to understand, chords are what you play to accompany an individual or a group of people when they are singing. Let me repeat that. Chords are what you play to accompany an individual or a group of people when they are singing. For instance, I put you in front of my melody. You are all that matter. You are all that matter. I make room for 2. You and I, Jesus. You are all that matter. You are all that matter. those are chords I just played. You play chords to accompany songs. When somebody is singing, you play songs to you play chords to accompany them. I think that is clear. Now I'm going to be teaching us major and minor chords, which are known as triad 3-note chords. And what is chords in music? What is the definition of chord in music? Definition of chord in music is the playing together of 3 or more musical notes in a harmonic agreement. Let me repeat that. Chords in music are referred to as the playing of 3 or more musical notes in a harmonic agreement. So the 3 notes you want to play, they have to be in agreement harmonically. And we are not talking about biological notes here. We are not talking about physics notes here. We are talking about musical notes. So what are musical notes we are talking about? We are still referring to your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, or A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Nothing more. So basically it has to be 3 notes. 3 notes. Don't forget, we are learning the major and the minor chords. And we are learning the triad chord, which are elementary chord, 3-note chord. Triad simply means 3-note chord. That is what we'll be learning. So I will start with the major chord. The major chord, how do we generate the chord? The major chord, let me say the major chord consists of your root. Some people call it root, some people call it home note, some people call it the tonic, some people call it the keynote. So whichever one you understand is to be. So I'm going to be using the root note. The root note, for instance, the key of C, the C is the root note. The key of C sharp is the root note. The key of D is the root note. The key of E flat is the root note. The key of E is the root note, just like that. Then I'm going to be treating the major first before minor. So in major chord, we need the root note, the major third, and the major fifth to make it a major chord. We need the root note, the major third, and the major fifth. So for instance, on the key of C, your C is the root note, then the E is the third, is the major third, which is 1, 2, 3. C, D, E. E is your major third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G is your major fifth. C. So this is C major chord. This is C major chord. C major chord. The root, the major third, and the major fifth. C major chord. On the C sharp, C sharp is the root. F is the major third, then G sharp is the major fifth. C sharp major chord. D is the root. F sharp is the major third. A is the major fifth. D major chord. E flat is the root. G is the major third. B flat is the major fifth. E flat major chord. E is the root. G sharp is the major third. B is the major fifth. E major chord. F is the root. A is the major third. C is the major fifth. F major chord. F sharp is the root. A sharp is the major third. C sharp is the major fifth. F sharp major chord. G is the root. B is the major third. D is the major fifth. G major chord. A flat is the root. C is the major third. Then E flat is the major fifth. A flat major chord. A is the root. C sharp is the major third. E is the major fifth. A major chord, B flat is the root, D is the major third, then F is the major fifth, B flat major chord, B is the root, D sharp is the major third, then F sharp is the major fifth. This is B major chord. So those are the major chords on all the 12 keys. Major chord on C, major chord on C sharp, major chord on D, major chord on E flat, major chord on E, major chord on F, major chord on F sharp, major chord on G, major chord on A flat, major chord on A, major chord on B flat, then major chord on B. So those are the 12 keys. Those are major chords. Major chords on all the 12 keys. Don't forget, we are treating the 3-note chords known as triad. And don't forget, the definition of chord in music is the playing together of 3 or more musical notes in harmonic agreement. So the 3 notes you are going to be playing, they have to agree. They have to be in agreement harmonically. So, and they have to be played together, not one. So if you are playing chord and you are doing like this, so that is not chord. 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 This is chord. This is chord. This is chord. So that is your major chords on all the 12 keys. Now, what is minor chord? Minor chord, it's just a slight difference between the major and the minor, and the difference is very, very significant. Let me repeat that. The difference is very, very significant. It's just a slight difference. So while the major chord consists of your root note, the major third, then the major fifth, but the minor chord consists of your root note, the minor third. Don't forget, the major chord is major third, but the minor chord is now minor third and the major fifth. So the root note still remains what it is, the major fifth still remains, but we are altering the third. We're going to make it minor. So how do we make it minor? We flatten it. We flatten the note. In music, when you flatten the note, you reduce it. You reduce it in value. You reduce it in value. You reduce it in value. So this is our root note. I'm not teaching accidentals now. I'm not teaching, so I don't want to be going in natural sign or sharp sign and flat sign. No. So I'm not going into that now. But we're going to be making use of the flat sign on all the third notes to get our minor chord. So the root note, this is the major third. We have to reduce it just by semitone. We flatten it so to this place. So reducing it from here to here, we flatten it from here to, we reduce it in value. So it is E. Now we reduce it so it becomes E flat. So we now have the root, the flatted third, which is minor third now, and our major fifth still remain. So this is my minor chord. This is C minor chord. This is C major chord. This is C minor chord. This is C major chord, and this is C minor chord. You can see the difference. So this is just the difference. So this is the difference. The E and the E flat. So the root note and your major fifth still remain. We are just altering the third note. We reduce it to E flat. So major, and this is